What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we are taking a look at Void 3.0 and going over some of the most OP exotics that Warlocks will want to start using once the Witch Queen releases. We're about 48 hours away from the release right now, and while there is still a lot of mystery about the new DLC, Bungie has shared a lot of the upcoming sandbox changes and changes to the new Void subclasses, which has given us a perfect opportunity to start working on those perfect builds. And when it comes to Warlocks, there will be a ton of new and exciting things to play with. And while many Guardians may automatically jump to throw on Nezaric's Sin, or Skull of Dire Ahamkara, or even the Verity's Brow, which I don't look down at any of you for doing this. In fact, I think Verity's Brow will by far continue to excel, as it has done over the last few seasons. But in today's video, I want to focus on a few lesser thought of exotics when running a Void 3.0 build, along with particular focus towards the new Warlock ability, Child of the Old Gods, which grants Warlocks a new and amazingly badass Void buddy. Now, before we get started, if you enjoy the video and find it helpful, be sure to help support the channel below by hitting the like button along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated. Now, along with Child of the Old Gods, Warlocks will have Chaos Accelerant and Feed the Void as your main aspects. So when deciding on an exotic, we want to equip something that will enhance these abilities and give them to us more often. So the first exotic that I want to bring up is the Stag Exotic Helmet. One of the best exotics for end-game content such as Grandmasters, but typically ran on solar builds. Now with Void 3.0 though, we can utilize the Stag's ability to give Rift energy on received critical damage. This way we can mass produce Rifts, constantly activating the Child of the Old Gods perk, which could see Warlocks loading into Grandmasters with Void builds far more often, and the potential application here in PvP could be really nasty for sure. Now the next exotic I want to talk about is the Apotheosis Veil. Immediate regeneration of health, melee, grenade, and rift energy upon activating your super, and that's for you and your nearby allies. I'm not sure why the Apotheosis Veil is not used more often, but I can guarantee that with Void 3.0 you'll see a lot more Warlocks with it equipped. If you think about the synergy that you can create with this exotic by applying mods that funnel the energy back between all of your abilities, like Reaping Wellmaker or Well of Utility, then you're talking about a non-stop Void charged Warlock capable of throwing Nova Bombs, grenades, and having Void buddies without limits, which is more or less what you'll also find by wearing the Eye of Another World, as it provides you with highlighted priority targets and improved regeneration speed of your grenade, melee, and rift energy. The big difference between these two is that while Apotheosis Veil also benefits your allies, Eye of Another World will only benefit the individual. Eye of Another World also provides constant improvement at those recharge rates. Now it's too early to tell which of these two exotics will be superior, but both will certainly be powerhouse exotics for Void 3.0 Warlocks. I would expect to see Eye of Another World benefiting PvP more so than PvE, as its benefits are only going to the individual, whereas Apotheosis Veil will become more beneficial in Grandmasters and Raids since it's going to help the team. And with that being said, up next, the Luna Factions. These exotic boots have seen their fair share of dance time, especially in Raids, and now that is before it got nerfed. Luna Factions still provide a very unique advantage with faster reloading for you and your allies while in the Rift, along with improved range while in empowering rifts. Now with the raid launching not long after the release of Witch Queen, Guardians are going to be looking for the best builds to take in, and while there will be many great ones to choose from, having a Warlock with Luna Factions will be increasingly important. And the big reason that I bring up the Luna Factions is the synergy that you and your team will be able to have when also paired up with the new exotic boots that Warlocks will get called the Secant Filaments, which will give you and your allies the ability to disrupt enemies, including champions. Whether it's in a Grandmaster Nightfall, the Raid, or a legendary mission, the synergy that can be created from Luna factions and the Secant Filaments, either on their own or together, can be a big impact towards the survivability of your team and your efficiency to kill shit. While all of the exotics that we've talked about so far are outstanding exotics for Warlocks to use with the 3.0, the key component of your ability to have endless void buddies, non-stop abilities, is how well you build your setup. And when it comes to Void 3.0, there will be a lot of ways that you can create that synergy between your abilities to become a god on the battlefield, with the right combination of mods to go along with these exotics. Now, I've brought up a few of these already, but mods like Well of Utility, which grants class ability on Well Pickup, and Reaping Wellmaker, after activating a rift, your next final blow spawns a Void Well. These are mods that you're going to want to be equipping, as they will directly boost the synergy between your abilities and your exotics. But these aren't the only mods that you want to use. Dynamo, a Void Helmet mod, reduces super cooldown when activating rifts near your enemies. Any of the exotics that we've talked about today would greatly benefit from the addition of this mod. There's also Bolstering Detonation. This one's a Void Arms mod. Grants Rift Energy on grenade damage. So in essence, throw a charged grenade and get your Void Buddy back. Or Focusing Strike mod. Grants Rift Energy on melee damage instead of grenade. There's also Insulation, a Void Legs mod. Reduces Rift cooldown on orb pickup. With a lot of changes being made to how orbs are generated, this could become an outstanding mod to use for that Void Buddy synergy. Perpetuation is a Void class item mod, reduces Rift cooldown when using your Rift. So get Rift energy when you use your Rift. Yeah, who doesn't want to add that on? And then of course you have your finisher mods. You've got Bulwark and Utility, both of which will be outstanding mods to add to your class item, pending of course on what the new seasonal artifact will be bringing us. And to round out the list of these standout mods, Protective Light and Extra Reserves will both provide unique advantages when paired up to exotics like Luna factions and the Stag. And we can't leave out the always useful Elemental Ordnance and Armaments. Now, these mods are going to create Void Wells on kills from Void weapons and abilities, which will all funnel right back into your grenades, your charged melee, and your ever so loved Void Buddy, and ultimately turning you into one of the old Void Gods. Like I mentioned before, we don't know right now what the seasonal artifact will offer when it comes to synergy with the Void 3.0. or how that will even affect builds in Season of the Risen. But as always, I'll keep you guys updated as much as possible as those details are available. And in the meantime, if there's an exotic and special synergy that you feel is going to make some big waves come Witch Queen, be sure to let us know in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. If so, be sure to help support the channel below by hitting the like button along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated and really do help support the channel. Until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you some happy hunting.